Ocean Spit, little show about big things. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you have a great weekend. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. Today is Monday, January 12th. And happy morning, happy afternoon, guys. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, the men and women in the military, and our veterans who fought for our country. Thank you so much. It's showtime. Let's go to work, Ocean Pit style. Yes, indeed, everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, Ocean Spit, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. I am. A lot of good things happening this week. Of course, a couple more days, 4 days till we go away on the Chicago Music Cruise. We'll talk about that. I'm sure you guys are waiting to hear what I have to say about the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. But let's get right to business when it comes to our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Ace gives you all the great deals, folks. Always go in and support the little establishment, and that's what I'm talking about. The little establishment that gives you big things and great big deals. That's Ace Hardware. That's JRC Ace Hardware, Norridge, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, Fox River Grove, Mesa, Arizona, and Richmond, Illinois. Get online, get some of those, sign up for those gift cards and a lot of great stuff they have with Ace. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Our good friends from Ace. All right, so what do I do? Let's start off with a couple things. Friday night, we were not at Chicago Prime Steakhouse. We were at the Bocce Club in Highwood, Illinois. I've been doing that yearly party for about 5, 6, maybe 8 years. I don't remember all off and on, but we've been doing it for a long time. And I want to thank my good buddy Davey B and Bruce Bertucci, Joey LaRusso, cousin Tommy Vena, and the band was on fire, Double T, Tony Toto, and Jerry Jams. A lot of fun on a Friday. And I got to meet Eric from 218, the new distillery in Highwood, which will be performing there in March. And we stopped at a little place called Bella Via Italian restaurant, which my buddy Dave's cousin Carmela owns. So we'll be doing some shows there in the summer. So we're excited about that. And the food was great. I just had some minestrone. They wanted us, they were going to give us a meal, but you know what? I just don't like doing that. And I never like to eat most of the time, 99% of the time I don't eat before I perform. So again, Dave, if you're listening, and Carmela from Bella Via, thank you, Highwood. Good shows. We'll be doing some stuff this summer there. Saturday and Sunday, we were at Ron Onesti's Club Arcada Speakeasy for Saturday night with the main event band, and then Sunday for Sinatra Sunday. Now, to be honest with you, folks, Saturday night, now we knew Packers, Bears, a lot of places canceled. Cave Dwellers were canceled. High Infidelity were canceled, I think. And some of these places took it upon their own to cancel. Even Kashmir, the Led Zeppelin tribute band that was supposed to play at the Arcada that night, canceled themselves. I think maybe somebody got sick or whatever it is. But I want to thank Ron, because Ron Onesti could have pulled the plug on that, and he didn't. So thank you, Mr. Onesti, for that. And thank you for the people that were there. It wasn't a large crowd, but it was a steady crowd, and they stayed, which was very cool for Saturday night. So thank you, Ron Onesti, Ricky Onesti, and John Naggio, and then Tony Toto and Danny Ramundi. This great event. Now, we were back there on Sunday. Was for Sinatra Sunday. Great job, Double T, Tony Toto. It was great seeing Sandra Argento. Sandra, thank you for the nice birthday gift. And thank you guys all for whoever gave me birthday gifts and Christmas gifts. Thank you guys. Humble, and I appreciate it very much. Sandra gave me that nice rocks glass, whiskey glass, and this nice little holder. I can put pens in here, and I can put some stuff in there. So thank you, Sandra Argento, and happy birthday to you if you're even listening here today. And of course, I want to thank my friend Kathy Fern, who was there, who sings with Secondhand Soul Band. She was just there. I didn't know she was going to be there, so we got her up to sing a couple songs. And Kathy, you did a great job. Thanks so much for that. And it was a good Sunday. It was a lot of. I like doing Rat Pack Sundays there. Very, very cool. It's nice. It's a built-in crowd. Joanne Albert, what's up, brother? Hanging and banging. Good afternoon, brother. I assume it's a man. I got a feeling I know who hanging and banging is. Me and Carol think, and we know who it is, and we're gonna maybe throw our thoughts out later on in the week. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank our guest Friday, Terry Newsom. Boy, this guy was involved in everything. He knew Charlie Kirk. He knew, of course, Ted Nugent. With January 6th, he's on the Antifa's one of the most wanted list because he's trying to do the right thing and stop the corruption. And follow his page on Facebook and his podcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Terry Newsom, thank you for being on the show. Felix, how you doing, buddy? We only have one show this week here in the area, and that's this Thursday. We'll be at Positano's in Wheaton, Illinois. It's going to be a little more laid-back kind of show. Of course, me and my good buddy Louis Pipes will be performing. I know Felix Cracker will be there, and hopefully we get some other people to join us. Positano's in Wheaton this Thursday night. It's a 7 o'clock hit. We'll be doing a lot of stuff. So, Sandra Argento, there you are, Hundred. Thank you, Sandra. Great seeing you yesterday. Happy birthday. Thank you for the rocks glass and this nice pen holder. Whatever I can put in there to hold some stuff. It's on my desk here at Ocean's Pit. So, Sandra, thank you for the years of friendship, and thank you for coming to the show. You and Connie and everybody, thank you for coming by yesterday. So, that's just get some stuff there. Very, very cool. And then, of course, we leave for the Chicago Music Cruise on Friday. That's right. We leave on the 16th of January. We're going to fly in to Miami. We're staying at the Miami, the Hyatt, across the street from the dock. So we're leaving on that. So if I know it's a far fetch here, but if you're interested in jumping on the last minute, you still can join us on the Chicago Muse Cruise. It's 4 days away. You know, if you just say, hell with it, I'm going to do this. It's going to be fun. MSC World America, January 17th to January 24th. 7-night Western Caribbean cruise, Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Ocean Cay. Tony Ocean, the main event band, and of course, Seventh Heaven. And I hear this is a new ship for us. There could be rumors that some of our shows the shows that we're going to be doing. We leave on Friday. Obviously, we don't board the ship till Saturday. And then it's at sea Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is our shows. They'll be an hour long. Us and, of course, Seventh Heaven will do their show as well. I hear some rumors by Mary that maybe we'll be doing some shows outside pool deck, poolside, which would be really kind of cool too, besides just doing the stuff indoor to the theaters and stuff. So that will be very, very cool. Emil, I hope you're doing well, brother. So Chicago Music Cruise, if you want to join up, or if you want to find out when the next one's going to be, NTD Vacations, it's very simple. You call our friend Mary, 630-688-1725, and she'll tell you all about the great stuff going on with NTD Vacations. A couple things I left out from Friday's show. The Milwaukee Zoo has been closed for a couple of days because they found a dead bird in the parking lot, and supposedly it's got the bird flu. So some of the Milwaukee Zoo, I don't know if it's reopened again. This was an old post, but it should be interesting to see what happens with that. Also, Universal Studios is coming to Chicago, folks. Universal Studios is coming to Chicago. 300 West Chicago Avenue around Fulton area where the old Bally's Casino was. And it looks like it's going to be opening March of 2027. March of 2027. Universal Studios coming to Chicago. Wow, 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 wow. All right, what else do we got a lot to talk about here. First, let's see. Eric Von Däniken has passed away, folks. He died on January 10th. He was the author of the book Chariots of the Gods that came out in 1968. But because of that book, people got interested in ancient alien history, if you're into that. So that author has passed away. Also, from the movie The Thing, and he was a character actor, T.K. Carter has passed away at the age of 69 years old. For all you wrestling fans, he was known as a referee, Little Natch. He was a referee who refereed the wrestling matches for the WWF, WWE. He has passed away as well. Muhammad Ali, which was the brother of Muhammad Ali, which was a boxer too. I did not know that. He passed away as well. Crazy. Really is. It's just one thing after another. The Colombian singer, Yeston, I can't even pronounce this guy's name, but he passed away with 6 other people in an airplane crash in New Jersey. Our prayers go out to the family there. Horrible. There's General. General was number 6 on my list here. Thanking the General that him and Jan are feeling better and they're up and abouts again. So, General, thank you so much, brother. I'm glad you're back out there, buddy. Hope to see you soon. Yvette, how are you doing? Randy, good afternoon. How about those Bears? And you know what, Randy? We were going to talk about the Bears and the Packers that happened this past week. We'll talk about it before the end of the hour. I have my thoughts on that. And also the next game. And also we're going to clear up some rumors supposedly about the coach flipping off, which I guess didn't happen. And McCaskey, the owner, nudging the Packers fan, which we'll talk about stuff that's circulating out there in social media, whether it's true or not. And we'll also talk about what I think about the game between the Bears and the Packers, and also the Bears playing the LA Rams coming up this Sunday. We'll definitely talk about that. Former Chicago Blackhawk, now he's with the Detroit Red Wings, if I'm correct. Patrick Kane just scored his 500th goal. Patrick Kane scored his 500th goal. Pretty cool to be able to do that. Also lost the great Bob Weir. He was one of the founding members of the Grateful Dead. Has passed away at the age of 78 years old with lung problems. I never understood the whole Grateful Dead thing, but they had a very big cult following and still do. Whatever part of the band is still touring, if they even are. I'm not sure. It's almost like Jimmy Buffett's fans. They have a cult following that love this guy. I'm not into Jimmy Buffett. I'd never know much about him. But so they have that cult following, which is pretty cool. They follow Jimmy Buffett fans and stuff, which is kind of cool. I do remember singing Margaritaville once, and I was playing at a Thirsty Parrot, which has got the theme of Jimmy Buffett type stuff, and Jimmy Buffett died. And we did tribute, and we just did one song, Margaritaville, Buffett. And then another thing that people didn't know, the association between Frank Sinatra and Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett and Frank Sinatra did a duet on Sinatra 2 duets. They did a duet with Summerwind. And they asked Jimmy Buffett, what was it like with Frank? He never got to meet Frank. Frank just phoned his stuff in. So some of these artists who actually performed on record on Duets 1 and Duets 2, they never even got to meet Frank with Jimmy Buffett. So that was the connection there on that. Another Bears game, they made my ass take a bite out of the recliner. Yeah, it did make me too when I was playing, and I was having a great Saturday night till then. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Double T, Tony Toto, great job Saturday and great job Sunday, brother. 4 more days. Vince Ramundi, I hope you're doing well. Kathy, hope you're doing well. I don't have a favorite singer, buddy. I wish I did. I have a favorite singer-songwriter, Eric Carmen from the Raspberries, but there's so many great vocalists out there. But that's a good question, man. That's a very good question. 60 years ago, folks, January 12th, 1966, Batman. Batman, Adam West, Burt Ward, ping, pow, poo, ow. Joker, Penguin, color show. I used to love Batman. 60 years ago, and it's still one of the best Batmans ever, Adam West. George Clooney, I mean, not George Clooney, I forgot the other guy. Michael Keaton, I think, was the best, and then Christian Bale. Those are my three favorites: Adam West, Christian Bale, and Michael Keaton, who played Batman. But 60 years ago, also The Sopranos aired January 12th on HBO, 1999. The Sopranos, which for a long time won more Emmys than any other TV show history. Pretty cool for being about a mob show, a series. But I think the reason why The Sopranos also were good, if you're Sopranos fans, it just wasn't mobs and killing. It was the everyday life of Tony Soprano, his wife, how he treated his kids. He went through every different things that he was going through besides his business in the mob. He's seen a psychiatrist. His friends turned on him, whatever stuff. And I think that's why The Sopranos became so big and so popular. Keith, your screen is freezing. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't see it here on my side. Kathy, I hope you're doing well. Keith, I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Aaron Rodgers will play tonight. It's probably the last Monday Night Football game, maybe, right? Tonight against the Houston Texans. Aaron Rodgers. I predict Rodgers will win and advance again. It is in Pittsburgh. And there is some degree, folks, of the NFL being rigged. Some degree. Some of these calls and some of these refs, and you've seen not only with the Bears, Packers, but all the games this year, it seems like some of these refs, right? And it can go either way. It didn't help the Kansas City Chiefs this year, that's for sure. But it helped them all those other years. I don't know. I think there's a slight, people talk about it. I know some of the newscasters, the sportscasters, were believing this too. So I don't know. But I'm hoping Aaron Rodgers wins tonight. We're going to watch the game tonight. So go Aaron Rodgers hopefully they beat the Houston Texans. And Saturday was a busy day with the two senior shows. And then, of course, doing the speakeasy. And again, my prayers out to Cheryl, Tony, and Amara Riccio. Their wake was for their son, Anthony, who passed away. Again, our prayers out to the Riccio family. We're talking about sports. You want to hear something that's really crazy? Thank you, Eric Todd. Pittsburgh hasn't lost a Monday night game since 1991. Wow, I did not know that. And you got Rodgers. So, I think the NFL wants Rodgers to just go back, just make it one more round, I think ESPN said that the San Francisco 49ers have a 49% chance of being in the Super Bowl again. How many shows could it take a year between the 5th and 6th season to keep the audience Sopranos? How many shows could take a year? Yeah, that was weird, Boyd. They did take a year off, right? And I think that was Tony Soprano talking about money. I think that's one of the main reasons why the show was held off. Negotiations with money. It has happened before with other shows. I remember Sanford and Son, their 5th season or 3rd season, whatever it was. Fred walked out a couple of shows because he wanted black writers and he wanted more money. And I did a couple of shows where Grady played the head character, while Fred was supposed to be in St. Louis. But then you have to look at, hey, Jeff Hunt, what's up, buddy? You have to look at shows like Friends, for instance. When their contract negotiation came up, they all said we all have to make equal pay or we're not doing the show. So I never watched Friends. I never cared for the show. I liked I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts, great pop band. They have better songs than that one. But anyway, they stuck to their guns. And I think most of them are still making $1 million a year just on reruns. So that was a good move. Mary, how are you doing? Well, Emo, biggest rig in the buggies. Yeah, I think the NFL is rigged a little bit. That's right. Pittsburgh is playing at home tonight, Eric. But here's something interesting about sports. Elon Musk, how rich is he? He's so rich. Listen to this. Elon Musk can buy all of the sports teams in America. That's football, hockey, basketball, and baseball. He can buy all of them. He can buy all the teams and still have $1.72 billion left. Carol Brandolino, happy Monday to you. Marty Malarkey, happy Monday. We'll see Carol tomorrow at Twisted Tuesday. Aaron Musk can buy, guys, just put this in perspective. He can buy every American sports team. Football, basketball, hockey. What did I leave out? Football, basketball, baseball, hockey. He can buy every team, folks. Every team and still have $1.72 billion left over. $1 billion left over. Wow. Is that crazy or what? One of the questions I'm going to ask you guys later on before the end of the hour, and I want you guys to think about it now and give me some of the answers at the end of the hour. What if you were going to commit a crime? What crime would you guys individually, what crime would you think you guys would be good at? And I don't need to know the answer now. Later on before the end of the hour. Jerry Lynn, how are you doing? Jerry, I want to get you on the show. We need to talk about grassroots. We need to talk about the grassroots. We need to get you on the show and talk about grassroots. Anyway, Jill, how are you doing, my friend? So think that. What crime would you be good at if you were to do a crime? And we'll talk about that. I wish Musk would buy the Bears. Well, if Musk bought the Bears, they'd spend the best money. They'd have the best team ever. They'd spend money. And we'll talk about that with the Bears. I know you guys want to know what I think. You know my opinion. No, I think I'm going to shock. I think I'm going to shock some of you. Because you guys think what I'm going to say. But I think you might be wrong. Headlines. Let's go to headlines. Or some quotes that you guys send me in and headlines. And all that good stuff. I have so much stuff left over. And some of the stuff that I write down is some of the stuff that I think of in my head. But then when I go back on my screensavers, the stories that I saved, here's some stuff that we'll talk about. These kids today got it easy. They find out school gets canceled through a text. We had to wake up at 6 a.m. and watch the bottom of our TV screen. Like the NBA draft. Remember? Now you get a text. You will not need to come to school today. School will be closed. Right? We had to get up at 6. Oh, it's cold and snow. We don't know. So we had to watch the TV. And the bottom of the screen would tell you what school is closed. And then you say, Mom, we don't have to go to school. Jerry Lynn, Tony Scoot knows the grassroots. We got to get in touch with her. Jerry, can you put that together? Can you make that work? Let's put that together. Federal safer prison time. There you go. Good point. But we'll talk about that. But those were the days, huh? Remember? We had to wait like the NBF draft. That's funny. You can walk around Walmart and eat grapes. Nobody bothers you. But as soon as you eat some roasted chicken, here comes the security. You can go to Walmart, pick a grape, eat an apple. I think I took open up eat a candy bar while you're walking around shopping. Laura Lorenzo, we're going to try to we got to get a hold of you. Laura's going to try to call Donnie Jeeves and try to get a gig down there we don't have that many dates left in 2026, but I'd like to go back to my old hometown so my mother can come out and see me. She'd be happy. Anyway, I remember once, and I must have mentioned this on this show at least once or twice. I I remember making a sandwich, going to the bread aisle, going to the mustard putting the mustard with my finger, getting the lettuce, making a whole sandwich with a bag of chips, and did my grocery shopping. This is years ago when I was a kid at, well, not kid, but younger. I think it was at Dominic's, or it might have been Jewel. Uh, how many people remember doing that? Yeah, you can pick the grapes all you want, but the minute you start making a sandwich, here comes security. All right. This is interesting. And I love some of the quotes that people send, and some of my friends actually share it. So I see some of this stuff. This was originally sent by Martin Pierce, and it was shared by my friend Patrick Moore. Patrick, if you're listening, I'm sorry about your mom who lost your mom, Agnes. Let's be clear. For years, this is a one-person thoughts. Let's be clear. For years, I let everything slide, but now I have boundaries. You don't get to talk down to me. You don't get to smile in my face, secretly despising me. You don't get to throw jabs at me innocently through jokes. You don't get to use me. One thing about it, actions don't lie. I was too busy trying to keep the peace, and that's where I've disrespected myself. I deserve the love I give freely to everyone around me. I'm alert enough to catch the shade and healed enough to go on my day. Just don't step to me respectfully. And honestly, it also comes down to one thing I was going to say about I started unfriending people on Facebook, social media. Now, we all know that we have people on there that some are your friends. We don't know everybody on our page. I don't know all 6,000, whatever, 7,000 on Mo and 12,000 on Tony Ocean. I don't know that. And you all know, too, that a lot of times they don't actually respond to half of the stuff that you say anyway, that you post. But there's a lot of hypocrites out there that either watch my show and either they watch it just to find out or whatever it is, and then we're not friends. I know we're not friends. I thought we were, but we're not. So I'm just gonna go through and start deleting people that I think they only keep you on just to see what you're up to, maybe. But I think everybody's been doing that. I think people have enough's enough of people that now I just don't need to see their posts. I don't care to. It makes our life a lot easier. And I think everybody's going through that. I'm surprised I didn't do it already. You know, I should have done it 2-3 years ago. Why did I wait till now? But I figure, hey, 2026, new year, fresh, clean start, and just do it like that, right? Okay. Let's see some more headlines. This is from People magazine. The White House hasn't been hiding these files for months. Wait, excuse me. The White House hasn't been hiding these files for months, only to dump them late on Friday to protect Bill Clinton, the former president of the United States. This is about shielding themselves from what comes next or from what they'll try to hide forever, so they can release as many grainy 20-year-old photos they want. But this isn't about Bill Clinton. It's about a lot more. And this was actually posted from Angela Arena, Bill Clinton's chief of staff, posted this and said this to People magazine. You guys know they're only going to let you know whatever's going on right now. Whatever, with the corruption in Minnesota, with the COVID back then, and the vaccine and Epstein's Island and everything like that. We're not going to know. They're only going to let us know what they think we can handle, or what just the little snippets, right? It's just crazy. And we're never going to know. So we should probably all just stop trying to figure everything out here, because it's just going to drive us all crazy. It really is. A 93-year-old man eats lunch next to a picture of his late wife, every day. He's Clarence Purvis, a 93-year-old widow from Georgia who still keeps a seat across from him at lunch. That's pretty cool. It's a framed photo. and he sits down and he still talks to her like he's having lunch with his wife. 63 years they were married. That kind of gets you right here. I know people that still go to cemeteries and put flowers and tell the story. Hey, this has been going on. You know? Yeah. Ronnie B, good morning. I like life just when it was like Gilligan's Island. Yeah. Good point, Boyd. Well, or better yet, Boyd, sticking to what you just said made a lot of sense. Just like when we were younger, right? There was no social media. So whatever channel 7, 5, 2, 32, 11, whatever, 26, whatever channel you watched, that's what we thought. That's all we knew. You know, we didn't know anything else. Now that shit is, I'm sure it's been going on for centuries, but we didn't know. And sometimes I wish it was back to that again to some degree, because social media is very good, but it also is the downfall of civilization. It's the downfall of friendship. It's a downfall of people getting together. This thing here and social media, you know, a lot of good, but a lot of bad. And I think when something is good, you got to take the bad as well. I think that's it. 50% of guys never got their hoodie back after lending it to their girlfriends. 56% of guys never got their hoodie back after lending it to their girlfriends. 56%. Guys out there, do you remember giving your hoodie to your girl or your wife or whoever and never got it back? 50%. Hanging and Banging says, we met at the playground. If there's a problem, it's all smoke and mirrors. Ronnie B, you're right. You are right. 50% of guys never got their hoodies back. Layoffs aren't easing up. They're picking up speed, according to BusinessTactics.com. I used to go on dates with guys just to have some of their clothes I liked. There you go, Kim. Okay, BusinessTactic.com. Layoffs aren't easy. They're picking up speed. U.S. layoffs set to surpass the Great Recession levels, on track to be the worst since the Great Depression. If history has taught us anything, periods like this don't hit everyone the same way. Recessions crush those who wait and react, but they quietly favor people who are prepared. Consumers pull back, builders skill up, investors position early. The gasp isn't created during booms, it's created right here. And I've heard about layoffs. I've heard a lot of that. Hopefully it is what it is, and hopefully things will get better. This is from the Daily Herald. Arlington Heights Mayor Tim Tingaglia, if I'm pronouncing his name right, urged Springfield legislators support the Bears' request for property tax break and public funding, arguing that losing the team would be a dark day for Illinois, according to dailyherald.com. It would definitely be a hit to, well, it's already going to be a hit to the city of Chicago. And if they move to Arlington Heights, it's going to help the suburbs. Some people who live there are happy, and some people that live there are not happy. But you're also looking at our governor, ladies and gentlemen, and J.B. Pritzker does whatever he wants to do, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens with that story. If Indiana, I don't know. I really don't know. One of the daily jokes for today, I put my phone on airplane mode, and it still doesn't fly. Yeah, there's something to give you a little chuckle. Let's see here. According to this news from Fox, Phoenix, Arizona, Fox News. There's a little problem happening in Suntan Valley where a man living in the community apparently likes to sun himself on his own driveway. Nothing wrong with that. Sits, takes the lawn chair out, kicks back to get some sun. He likes to sun himself in his own driveway while wearing nothing but waist down. So he likes to do it in the nude. And I guess his neighbors have a problem with that. And so does the police department. Neighbor accused of going nude below the waist in driveway. Santan Valley family asking sheriff officers to help. Who cares if the guy wants to tan himself? But I guess only for kids' sake. Only for kids' sake. Because the kids shouldn't be seeing some guy sitting there, man, that wouldn't look right. Wouldn't want to see a woman either. I mean, for kids' sake. Sun tanning and stuff like that. Who knows? This is from the Hodge get wins. If Trump supported the Bears moving to Indiana, Pritzker would make Arlington Heights happen immediately. Good point, Eric. Good point. This is from HodgeTwins.com. New data found that across the Jimmy Kimmel, and I think I might have mentioned this, Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, and the Daily Show universe, 197 liberal guests appeared on the show. Only 2 conservatives ones were on their show. Late Night takes hard left turn with 7,000 Trump jokes targeting conservatives up to 92%. Late Night just ain't like it used to be, folks. Now, this was quoted from a very smart man in the restaurant bar business. He is one of the best. And we're talking about Jim Early from A La Carte Entertainment. Someone else posted this, and Jim shared it 3 days ago. And he knows they've been in the business, A La Carte, all the Moretti's, Finn McCool's, The Drink. There's so many, Bellinopoli. They're a successful organization. Of course, with Freddie Hoffman, his son Mark. They know what they're doing. They know what's coming. They know what's happening. They know what sells. They know what they don't sell. What works and doesn't work. And here's a quote. It's long, but worth listening to. If you're thinking about getting into the bar business, the consumption of alcohol is down with the new generation, and you should know what's going on in the business. You look at the old business owners and say, oh man, I want to do what they did. Their opportunities are not there anymore. It's a lot harder with a lot new rules, and we never had to deal with in the past. And when Jim Early shares something like this, it's putting a warning sign to restaurants and bars. Because with the new generation coming up, the alcohol is not there. And if you guys know, you go to restaurants, whatever it is, the money is not in the food. It's not in the steak. It's not in, it's in the alcohol. That's where they make their money. Now, granted, they make money on spaghetti, and they make money on pizza, but the money is with the alcohol. That's where the money comes in. And it's sad. It's sad in a way. Now, I'm not saying that people should go out and have 9, 10 drinks. You don't want anything. You don't want that to happen, because then, of course, DUIs, and the person can get in trouble. The bar can get in trouble. Thank you, Boyd. Open a pot store. That's what everybody's doing. It's either pot, gummies, weed, vaping, right? That's what the new generation is doing. So I'm kind of happy that I'm at my age right now to be performing in these clubs. And that's why some of these restaurants, everybody's got to raise their prices, or they got to put an entertainment fee, which it shouldn't shock anybody here. I remember going to the Thirsty Whale and going to rock clubs. There was always a cover charge. Why not? Put a cover charge. Put a $10 a person if there's entertainment. Why not? Makes things a lot easier, and it makes it easy for the bar too. Bad news. DeKalb, this is from DeKalb, Illinois, is feeling angry. Bad news, $329 is an estimate that the Democratic-approved toll increases will cost the average driver $329 more per year. Now, I don't know if this is actually true now because I think it was debunked, but this could be an old article. Commercial trucking companies could end up paying thousands of dollars more. General Pritzker signed a legislation this week that would hike tolls in Illinois tollways to over $1 billion. Toll will increase 45 cents, but now they're saying that it might not be true. So we'll have to see. I don't know. You know what? I got an iPass. I don't even look. It's on automatic pay. I don't even look what it is, how much it is. You know, I'm blind to it. I should look at it, but I'm blind to it. Is showering every day good for you? I guess not. Showering every day harms your skin. Dermatologists say once every 3 days is enough to shower. Dermatologists say showering every single day can strip the skin of its natural oils, leading to dryness, irritation, and weaken the skin barrier, especially if you use hot water and harsh soaps. Many experts explain that people who aren't sweating heavily or getting visibly dirty each day, daily full body showers aren't always necessary and can actually do more harm than good. So they're saying maybe not full showers, but the old, and I hate to use the old cliche, the old Polish showers, they used to call them. And I'm sorry for saying it. This is what they said when I was growing up. So whatever showers they are, you know, you take them, maybe put the wipe here or wipe down there, whatever. So I don't know, but I still shower every day. So not good for your hair either. Emo for a quarter of a pound of pasta costs 40 cents. And sauce, not much more. So they charge you $15 to $25 to a restaurant. So you can see so much profit. I did say there's profit in pasta. I did say there's profit in pizza, but not steak and lobster. And in booze, that's where the money is. So I do understand your point. Tony, have you ever had a deal with music union in your career? Yes, Boyd. I was in the union years ago. And then I stopped because some of the clubs, not the clubs, but some of the hotels, you had to be in the union. I remember I was doing a party for Local 150 for many years. And thanks to my old friend, Kevin Burke, who used to be there, not anymore. And I was playing there a lot of times. I do all their parties. One day, some union guy came in and says, "Let me see your union card." And that all stopped. So I did have one or two times, a problem in 35 years. So it's really not that bad. So thank you, Boyd. Great question. Angelo Packy's in the house. Nothing wrong with a cover charge. They've been doing it for years, guys. It can make the band their money. It can make the restaurant money. And we were talking about that. That's a different story about the NFL being rigged to some degree. I still do believe that. But here, look, the money that people pay to go see these games, this is NFL we're talking about, but I'm sure it's the same as baseball anywhere else. It's expensive. The cheapest single ticket, I guess, for the Bears and Packers were $400. That was the cheapest ticket, which really isn't that bad if you think about it. It's a wild card game. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. But here, these parents pay $10,000 for NFL seats, and they're right up in front. So you can see it, and then they even have the screen near the seat. So you're sitting down, you have the screen in front of you, and you still can watch the game live. They're paying $10,000 for seat, and their kids are watching Family Guy. Here's a picture. I don't know if you can see it. Look at the family. Paid for those seats to watch the game, but the kids are watching their favorite TV show on the $10,000 NFL seats. They're watching Family Guy. They're watching these crazy shows. Not the game. Yes, unit insurance they wanted. I still have places that have insurance. There's there's weddings. There's weddings that I still have my own insurance, that if anybody got hurt or something, I do have insurance on some of the places, some of the hotels, some of the weddings I've done. I do need my insurance. So I do have that. Mike Ariosa, Hardcore Italians in the house, brother. Woo! Check out their page. They got a great Italian merchandise. Good stuff. Hardcore. Dave, I shower every day and steam a few times a week. Okay. Patrice, I hope you're doing well. You and the Honey Bears should be happy when you guys are at the Tap House, I guess, right? With the Bears-Packers game. We'll talk about the Packers. That's coming up very shortly. Bears-Packers game. Nobody gets angrier than a man being accused of something he actually did. That rage isn't offensive. It's a panic, stressed, and aggression. Nobody gets angrier than a man being accused of something he actually did. That rage isn't offense. It's panic, dressed in aggression. How true. Deb's in the house. Hey, Deb. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Emo, the old days, my dad gave me a good slap. Those were the good old days. I'd take that slap any day. It is time for the weather, folks, and then we're going to talk about Bears-Packers. The weather brought to you by JRC Ace Hardware. The weather for today for Monday, January 12th. It is 37 degrees. It was 29 when I walked the dog this morning. It's 37 right now, 58% humidity, 9-mile-an-hour winds. It's sunny out there, but it is cool. But still, that's brought to you by our good friends from JRC Ace Hardware Stores. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. I'd still take this weather compared to other weathers. It's not a bad winter so far, folks. It's not a bad winter so far. All right, let's talk about Bears. Let's talk about Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. The Bears beat the Packers 31-27. That means they beat the Bears, right? It's once they beat the Packers once, and the Bears beat the Packers once, because the wild card doesn't really count as the regular season. That I'm not quite sure. So, all right, Bears 31, Packers 27. I'm going to tell you this, folks. I'm going to tell you exactly what I feel about this. Mary Grievous, how you doing, my dear friend? We just said if anybody wants to jump on that cruise, you still got time. And I mentioned it earlier in the show, 630-688-1725, NTD Vacations. Or if you don't want to go on this cruise, why don't you give Mary a call anyway and find out when the next one's going to be. NTD Vacations, Chicago Music Cruise in 4 days. All right, so my thoughts, and it's going to shock some of you. I was so happy. I was happy. The Packers were beating the Bears. But here's what the Packers did. They got cocky. The Packers got cocky. They missed 2 field goals and an extra point. That would have been 7 points. Case closed. They got cocky. The Bears didn't beat the Packers. The Packers beat themselves. My opinion. So kudos to the Bears on that one. I mean, I still don't know. These are the most luckiest bastards out there. Because not many teams, if you have to admit, even though you're Bears fans, and I know how happy you are, it's a successful season, it's very hard for a team, I don't think there's been many teams to always win the games coming back at the fourth quarter. Usually when a team wins, you score in the beginning. If the Bears want to move on, and I don't know what's going to happen against the LA Rams. I mean, the LA Rams, they're giving the Bears 6 points. So the Vegas thinks that the Bears are going to lose this game. To me, I hope they do lose. That's just me. But for you guys, A lot of people think that the Rams, because they'll have to play in colder weather because they are playing in Chicago. Overall, it's going to be overall for all you Bears fans. You should be proud. It was a successful season, no matter how they won. You do remember? Let's go back to another Chicago team, the Chicago White Sox. Remember winning ugly, and they won ugly. The Bears won ugly this year. Some games they came back. I have to admit, the Chicago Bears came back. They came back because they wanted. I think maybe they even fought harder because it was the Green Bay Packers. And I believe the Packers got cocky because they're thinking, we got this. It's the Bears. We won again. We're going to screw them again. They got cocky. Missed 2 field goals and an extra point. That would have been 7 points. So I'm going to give kudos to the Chicago Bears there. The Packers beat themselves. Case closed. My opinion and my opinion only. All right. There was a rumor out there that, this is what the social media wants. And I had a discussion with my buddy Carlo today on the phone. Supposedly, after the game, Ben Johnson goes up to Matt and gives him the finger. Wrong. That did not happen. So first, I thought it was a bad play if that was true. But if you Google it, it did not happen on the field. It did not happen. What did happen was this. Following the Bears' dramatic 31-27 comeback victory over the Green Bay Packers, the NFC wildcard game, Ben Johnson yelled, "Fuck the Packers. Fuck them. Fucking hate those guys." But this was during the post-game locker room speech to his team. The video of this speech was later shared by Bears' official social media accounts that went viral. Johnson, Packers head coach, also shared a very brief, frosty handshake at midfield after the game, which was noted, the coldness, whatever it was. So, to break the rumor there was no giving the finger to the coach. Okay? This was said during their before they went on. Now, to boost the team, we're going to get these guys. Now, my thing here, if they just would have said, and it's just me, but I probably would have said the same thing because of my personality and my mouth. I would have said the same thing. But it probably wouldn't have got such a big scam or ever shared all over social media. Fuck the Packers, fine. Fuck them, that would have been fine. But I said we hate those fucking guys. Maybe when they started using the word hate, I think maybe some people took it to a different extreme. But you're supposed to get the rally. You're supposed to get the troops rallied to win. This is a big game. It's not only a big game for the Bears to advance or for the Packers to advance. It's the rivalry for all those years that the Packers and the Bears were playing each other. Yes, they got cocky. That's what I believe, Violet. That's what they did. Quarterback for LA has a bad thumb and throwing hand. Well, big deal. That's what drugs are for, David. Drugs, they'll fix that right up. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's a big deal. They got cocky, and that happens a lot. Not just in the Bears, Packers. That happens a lot. Hey, we're winning by, all these points. But it's a big game. And I'm sure, it's not a good move. That's a big game, and you should definitely concentrate on winning the game. If you want to say whatever you want after the game, that's one thing, ladies and gentlemen, but you have to win that game first. And that's the problem. And then there was another supposedly Bear. This is actually on the Chicago Bears fan Facebook page. They thought they made it. Remember the Heidi Bowl? Emo, yes. Well, thank you, Violet. I hope you have a great day, too. Um, Supposedly, Chicago Bears owner McCaskey caught shoving a Packers fan in a viral sideline moment. Now, if you look at the post, it seems like it would almost make it sound like you've seen a fan and he just pushed him. That's not exactly what happened. Okay. They were taking a picture and a Packer fan tried to get in for a photo op. Now, McCaskey's fault should have been, especially at his prestige appointment as who he is, could have said, or maybe the guy next to him or somebody could have said, hey, buddy, not now. Not that we could, instead of nudging him out like this, guaranteed this guy's going to say, and fall and call his lawyer. Guaranteed. There's going to be something done with that. So he just nudged it out because he didn't want this Packer fan to get in the photo op. Rightfully so. And if it was me, I probably would have done the same thing. But in his position, he should have probably said, hey, this is our picture, not now. That might have, if that would have happened, then this never would have came on social media. No photo bombing. And it's on it's not even on the Packers page. It's on that I can see. It's on the Chicago Bears favorite social media page. So he did not, let's just shove the guy. And here I'm coming to defense on this. You just should have handled it a little differently. But, I guess the heat of the moment with all these crazy things going on, makes you wonder. Jimmy Hammer, what's going on? Too much over-the-top gloating besides the rivalry, social climate had a lot to do with it. Yeah, you're right, Boyd. There was a lot of, and that's what I mean. When these rivalry games, it's exciting. People are excited, for the game itself. But then when you have all this stuff, they got cocky and they lost. It came to bit them in the ass. I guarantee you the Los Angeles Rams will not be cocky. They will not be cocky. They're going to come to play. And I think the Bears are going to come to play too. We'll see what happens. But the Bears, LA is giving the Bears 6 points. Now, they are at home. They are in Soldiers Field. Carol, I love to see the Bears win because my mom is a diehard Bears fan. I want to see her happy. Well, there you go. That's my kids love them. So, a lot of my friends love them too. I mean, we're beefing all the time with this. But I guess if you didn't have, let's put it, be honest. It's not that much fun when you're sitting and everybody's rooting for the same team. Sometimes it's nice to have some just so you can just have a little, Here, I'm going to give you an example. And if Patrice is watching, she was there. I went to see Patrice and the Honey Bears at the Tap House. I think it was this was another place in Palatine. You're going to love this. I had my Brett Favre jersey on, and I don't even know if it was Green Bay. I think it was another team, but they were killing the Bears the whole game. And I'm loud. You guys know that. Or if you don't know that, you know it now. I was loud going, yeah, Bears are losing. And at the end, the Bears win. And the guy over the microphone, he said, hey, whatever, to the Packers fan over there. And the whole bar went boo. It was like, so, oh my God, they sure taught me a lesson that day. But it hasn't stopped me, though. It's still in my mouth. Stafford has a history of being a rivalry with the Bears. Yeah, that's true. Stafford does. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Somebody making a big deal out of a fucking nothing again. That's true. And you know what's funny, though? Here's something that I just don't get. I was watching the posts during the game. When I had a chance, I would look and see some of the posts where the Bears were losing and they were like screwing up. Boy, you guys suck. You guys aren't supposed to be in the playoffs. You guys are dropping the ball. You guys didn't score there. It's amazing how some of these fans turn They'll turn on them the minute they lose. And at the end, we're going to the Super Bowl. But I guess that's every team. Go Yankees, Joe. Look, me. Guys, every year, my Yankees lose. But you got to still love your team, right? No matter what. So you had fun. There you go. I made it exciting. Yes, it was a little something different. Yeah, everybody goes, yeah, they scored a touchdown. Yeah, it's no fun then. You got to have that little to make the afternoon. But some people really get upset. Some people really get upset. And it is what it is, guys. Sorry if sometimes I get a little out of line. It's just me. Anyway, got to take the good with the bad, I guess, right? So, again, congratulations to Chicago Bears and the Packers. You guys got to stop showboating. You should have took that game very seriously, especially when you knew the Bears always come back in the fourth quarter. You knew that's their ammo this year. That's their ammunition. They always come back at the end. So you can't be fucking cocky. And that's what the Bears did. Cocky. All right. We are down to the hour. Tomorrow, Carol Brandolino will be with us for Twisted Tuesday. We always need a villain. Thank you, Joe. We need a villain. Joey had the Green Bay thing he had the Chargers colors on when we had at J-Most, my birthday party. You got to have a little fun. That's what life is about. And we didn't get a chance to talk about the crime, but we'll do that tomorrow. So you guys were thinking about it again, hold your answers, and we'll do it again with Carol tomorrow. If you commit any crime, what would your crime be? And we'll continue with that tomorrow. Shows coming up again this Thursday will be at Positano's in Wheaton. Me and my buddy Louis Pipes, just me and Louis, having a good time at Positano's in Wheaton. We'll be back at the other Positano's on the 29th of January, and Positano's in Oak Brook with Double T, Tony Toto, and Lisa P. On the 26th, we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle. I'm sorry, on the 27th, we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle. The Wednesday night, the last Wednesday of the month. On the 31st, we'll be at Big Sammy's in Plainfield. That's a Saturday night, January 31st, Big Sammy's in Plainfield. And a new club coming up February 7th at Gusto's Italian Restaurant in Glenview. My buddy Jimmy Place owns it, his family, a brand new spot. I'm excited. And Ocean's Rat Pack will be at the Impact Fuel Room in Libertyville for Valentine's Day. We're going back. Last year we were there. We sold out. This year we'll be with a large band, our big band behind us, and Ocean's Rat Pack, Libertyville, Impact Fuel Room. Guys, let's not forget Armando Supermarkets. Buy local, shop local, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Birthdays. Was there a lesson learned there, Grasshopper? No, there is no lesson learned. Yeah, I'm not going to be as loud, but I'm still going to vote for the other team. But thank you, Grasshopper. That's a good one. Kung Fu, I used to love that show. All right, so birthdays for January 12th. Abdul the Butcher, for all you wrestling fans, 85 years old. George Foreman, great boxer, celebrating the birthday. Michael Schenker, UFO Scorpions. Ray Bolger, who played the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz, celebrated a birthday. Ainsley Dunbar, great drummer with Journey, a lot of great bands. Ainsley Dunbar, 88 years old. Felix Silla, who played Cousin It in The Addams Family, celebrating a birthday. Dan Fegan from Supertramp, celebrating a birthday. Mary J. Blige, celebrating a birthday. Charles Bronson would have been celebrating a birthday. Naomi Judd, Vicki Peterson from the Bengals. Now she's with the Cowcells, celebrating a birthday. Dave Sachette, who plays Hercule Poirot. I love him, 79 years old. Johnny Maggio, my buddy Maggio, celebrated a birthday this past weekend. Frank Sinatra Jr., Sinatra's son, celebrating a birthday. I don't even know what this said. I was going to write something down here, but I completely forgot. I don't know what it said. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you. Also, another thing we're going to talk about tomorrow, also, what the best candy ever. The best candy ever. So, good things to talk about. I want to thank our sponsors, our good friends, Ace Hardware. Ace is the place, buy local, shop local. Norridge displays Evergreen Park, Warrenville, Foxborough Grove, Arizona, and Richmond, Illinois. The best deals for the best price. Ace is the place, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Thank you, Raffaello and Jackie. Guys, it is time for us to go. Tomorrow is Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino. And remember, buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment. Be kind to one another. If you're offended with anything on this show or anything you see on any other show, change the channel. But just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. That's true. But the most important lesson we learned today, folks, is just be kind to one another. Try to respect each other's. It's a crazy world out there. Life is too damn short. And start thinking about yourself also. It's important. Go through Facebook and unfriend some friends who are really not friends and just do it. Make yourself feel better. Ringo Starr says peace and love. Peace and love from all of you wonderful people. God bless you all. See you next time. St. Nick Sahajas, take us out, piano man. Bye-bye.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Peace, baby.